Good Friday morning. I'm Matt Carruthers, and welcome to another installment of everyone's favorite 30-plus minute horse racing program. It is time to kick off your weekend with blinkers off. Yeah, the show's going to be about 45 minutes. We got some live racing. Aqueduct's back. They didn't run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They run 4 days in a row. Beginning today, we'll bring you their first race during this program. Also the first at Tampa. A lot of rain off the turf there. We got buzz in the biz with my man Ray Pollock the second half of the show. We're going to handicap some great races. Hopefully I'll redeem myself from a disease last week in terms of handicapping in the always popular Saturday play of the day. It's going to be a long day. Excited to kick off your weekend with this particular program, Blinkers Off, all the way through Monday. Later on this evening, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central, 10:30 Mountain, 9:30 Pacific time. She's back. First start in 2013. Undefeated. 22 for 22, 12 Group 1 wins, Black Caviar. And to talk about Black Caviar and tonight's big race, we have on the line right now Ashley Walker. We get this right, Director of Communications and Operations for Australian Racing since 2005 from Louisville, Kentucky. Ashley, how are you?
Doing well today, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for coming on the program. First question before we jump into Black Caviar. Obviously, with that title, Director of Communications Operations for Australian Racing for that long of a period of time, you know the Australian game pretty well. How does that work though with you living in the States, with you living in Louisville?
Well, I keep strange hours, Matt. This is my bedtime. This is late.
You're usually
for me.
asleep right now.
Usually asleep by about 10 a.m. So this is I'm pulling a late one. Then I'll be going back in the studio, tonight at 8:30 or so. So
Okay,
it's a strange schedule.
Okay, all right. Well, appreciate taken away from your sleep. You're going to be sleep deprived.
Not a worry.
Because of this show. Even though you're not in Australia, can you give our viewers here an idea of how big of a star she is there? I mean, we had Zenyatta here a few years ago. Big star, but racing in the States not as big as racing in Australia. Is she like Michael Jordan over there?
I'd say she's extremely close. I mean, when she does race, the turnout's amazing. The interest level is obviously quite a bit higher than it would be with Zenyatta, only due to horse racing probably being the second most popular sport in Australia. So when she does run, the people really do come out. The media really covers it, and she's been impressive, obviously, from the get-go.
All right, we're showing her win last year in the Lightning Stakes. She's going to try to do it for the third time in her career. Let me go back to the injury that she suffered, 2 torn muscles in her back. How close to retirement do you think she was?
I think she was as close as a horse can get, Matt. I was sure I'd never see her again. So tonight might be the last chance, honestly. If she doesn't look like the Black Caviar of old, I'd say tonight will be your last shot to get a look at her.
Okay, and we're showing her win in the Diamond Jubilee at Royal Ascot, and I think her conditioner, who I'm a huge fan of, he has a personality, and he seems to be a difficult read also. He really didn't want to go to Royal Ascot, did he?
No, it didn't seem like he really wanted to get her out of Australia, and I'm wary that he'll do it again. I don't think she's as comfortable, honestly, out of Victoria, much less going all the way to England. So I don't think he was real comfortable with going, but there was a lot of pressure from within the industry and the media, and she ended up winning, and they paid her first money, so that's all that counts.
He seems to be all over the map talking about Peter Moody and what he has planned for her. I mean, one instance he's saying she's in the best physical shape she's been in a couple of years. Then it seems like a half hour later he's saying this could be her last start. Then he's saying maybe we'll run 4 or 5 times in 2013. He seems to be a guy who kind of changes his mind pretty often. What are you expecting from her in 2013? What type of campaign?
Well, from what I saw, last week in the track gallop at Caulfield, she's back to where she needs to be. She could have won this race during that track gallop with the way she looked the other day. So she could run 3 or 4 races, or this could be the last one. It's all kind of up to her and how she takes back to racing. If she comes out and she's the Black Caviar of old, obviously they can go on for one more campaign, but I wouldn't say you'd see her too much longer.
Okay, and in terms of the race this evening, 2 to 5 on the morning line, even if she's not, you wouldn't think she's going to be 100% off of the layoff. I mean, at what percentage is she, in terms of, does she lose this race? I mean, she's 80%. She beats this field
I'd say
tonight,
99%.
right?
99%.
Because this isn't the strongest of fields in the world. You tell me if I'm wrong.
She's about 10 lengths better than anybody in this field. And, you know, it's weight for age. So if she doesn't win this, something's seriously wrong. I'd say she'll win by 5 or 6 pulled up. For sure.
And the runner that has the second best chance of winning this race, I mean, Peter Moody has 2 others in here, and that's a moment of change, right? I mean, that horse has the second best chance of winning this race.
Yeah, I think Peter Moody might be just filling the entry box, honestly. Those horses, they're really not even close to the caliber of Black Caviar, so it's more of a walkover for her than I've seen in a long time.
And, you know, obviously, those of us in the States, we know Peter Moody because of Black Caviar. We know rider Luke Nolan because of Black Caviar. Black Caviar aside, is Luke Nolan, he's an elite rider in Australia. Peter Moody has been an elite trainer in Australia.
Well, Peter Moody is he's definitely raised his profile over the past 4 or 5 years and become, you know, the top Victorian trainer, replacing guys like Lee Friedman and David Hayes, who, you know, their reign was over a decade. So Moody, I would say, much more so than Nolan. They're definitely more top-level riders, but Nolan's fame is obviously from his association with this mare.
We're going back to, in Melbourne, Australia, Federation Square, when Black Caviar won the Diamond Jubilee at Royal Ascot, obviously another dramatic fashion. And, I mean, just the move that night and the reaction and the emotion that you saw. And also, being in the States, you're used to seeing, I mean, it's just a fact, your median horse player is about 68 years old. And you look at Federation Square, it's all these young people going crazy for Black Caviar. I doubt we'll have this kind of a scene tonight. But I'm guessing off a long layoff, when a lot of people thought she might retire due to injury, it's not going to be at this level, but it's going to be somewhat close, her return?
I think it'll be really close, Matt. I think a lot of eyes are going to be on her. Everybody's kind of curious as to how she'll come back from that England trip, especially after the narrow margin of victory. And the Australians, they're proud people. They're really proud of any Australian that does well worldwide. So I'd say the attention's going to be pretty high.
It's got to be kind of tough for you, though. You're in Louisville. You care so much about this. Are you going to be by yourself? Or are you going to be like disrobing and like ripping your shirt off and, and dancing around with holding a bottle of champagne? I mean, you going to have people to celebrate with you?
I think I'll be sitting alone actually producing the races.
Oh.
So I've produced every race she's run in. So this will be, I guess, my 23rd time, too, sitting alone. So it's a private moment. It'll be my Valentine,
Your own private moment. It's very sweet with between you and Black Caviar. As somebody who's covered her for a long time, I'll let you go here in just a second. I'll let you get back to bed. At what point did you think, wow, she could be one of the all-time greats? Was it at 8 for 8, 9 for 9? Did she beat one particular rival? At what point did you know you were involved with something real special?
I would say about her 11th or 12th win. She finally shipped out of Victoria over to New South Wales to run in the T.J. Smith Stakes. And she ran up against a horse named Haylist, who put about 4 or 5 lengths on her at the top of the stretch, and it really looked like she wasn't going to, make up that ground. And when she did, in such a quick amount of time, you knew there was something special. And it's gone on from there. She's only gotten better.
So tonight you're nervous, you're excited, you're a combination of. But when you're supposed to win and you're 2 to 5, you get bet down from that. You really have everything to lose and nothing to gain. Does that make tonight's performance a little more nerve-wracking?
Well, I mean, I would be definitely nervous if I were any of the connections or Peter Moody especially. But, even if she's 70%, I would say she'll win this race with ease. So it's not a great test for her. It's more of a showcase, I would say. But it is exciting. She's an exciting horse. The way she runs and the way she wins races, it's as if she's running her own private race during the other race. So it's interesting to watch her and the way she processes what she's doing out there, Matt.
Yeah, I got to ask you, lower left corner of the screen for our viewers, is that an electric typewriter you have behind your desk? Is that an old school typewriter?
That's not electric. That's from the 50s.
Wow, you're doing this and you're going to the next line?
Yeah,
and you're skipping letters, and you're getting the whiteout out? Wow.
No, just pure talent. It takes a lot of skill.
God, you're like Woody Allen. That's incredible. I certainly he writes his screenplays with one of those typewriters. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for coming on the program. Hopefully she'll continue the streak and go 23 for 23. Hopefully she comes out of the race all right. And if that's the case, we'll talk to you again, maybe before her next start.
Perfect, man. Thanks for having me so much.
Very welcome. Now go back to bed. Ashley Walker, Director of Communications and Operations for Australian Racing, and he's had that position dating back to 2005. Also a graduate University of Louisville equine business program. So we appreciate him coming on the program. All right, I'm not looking forward to this. It's my first diseased week, as I said at the top of the show. But again, I can't say, oh, producer Danielle, I don't want to show the picks recaps because I was terrible last week. No. Hold ourselves accountable. So let's do it. Let's do it. All right, all squared away. Fire with fire. That wasn't a bad, it was a field of 100. That was my highlight for it. That's not good. Manatee. When Ray Pollock and I get together on a 2 shot, we generally finish 10th. Ooh. Dearly Precious was a break for me. It was canceled. There was no racing. And they're going to run that race on Sunday. Thankfully. Butterfly Soul. Ray Pollock sent me a great photo of a, oh, I shouldn't give it away. Oh, we're going to show it later. Okay, I don't want to give it away then. Tease! Play of the day in Danielle Taylor's honor. ROI, whatever. I bet $112. Minus $18.40. So, you get back, what is that, $94. So, it's not great, but it's, again, it's not disastrous at this point. Play of the day. Let's go there for Saturday. I'm going New York. Again, I've missed you. Naira, over the last few days. Race number 2, good group of veteran 20 claimers going 6 furlongs, and the 4-horse Toke at 6-1 morning line for Charlton Baker. I think he's the fastest horse in the field. He has rated before also. 9 for 26 in his career. Why is this horse 6-1 morning line? 2 reasons. Contentious field, hasn't raced in 7+ months, dating back to the 7th of July at Belmont. You go back to April 30th, 2011, basically the exact same layoff, nearly an 8-month layoff. This horse crushed at odds of 7-2 in a field of 7. Done well, fresh, speed rider, Channing Hill, good race, and Charlton Baker's numbers, 27% with horses off of layoffs that exceed 6 months. I like the 4th Toke, 6-1 morning line, play of the day. Race 2 Aqueduct Saturday. Time for me, I guess all of us, to step aside, regroup a bit, get out your stakes races from the weekend. We're going to be talking about some good ones with my man, Ray Pollock. Before we do that, Buzz in the Biz with Mr. Pollock. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Blinkers Off. Also some live racing from Aqueduct in Tampa straight ahead.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be entitled to disability benefits through Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right if you suffer from a physical or mental disability. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. You'll be matched up with an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, and deal with Social Security for you. And best of all, there's no fee until you receive benefits. Call today.
Attention dialysis patients. The FDA has issued a Class 1 recall of Granuflow and Naturalite dialysis products used at Fresenius clinics and other dialysis clinics. If you or someone you know suffered a heart attack or sudden cardiac death during or after dialysis, you may be entitled to a cash award. There is no obligation. If we don't get you a cash award, you pay nothing.
Call our lawyers now at 800-439-8216.
The TVG Sunday Spotlight Race. Join us for the San Vicente from Santa Anita. Watch and wager on one of the weekend's best stakes races. The Sunday Spotlight on TVG. The action is back from Hawthorne Racecourse. Today, join TVG for Hawthorne's opening day. Watch and wager on thoroughbred excitement to kick off your weekend. It's only on TVG. Hawthorne's opening day, today. First post, 2:20 Eastern, 11:20 Pacific.
Are you tired of paying cable and satellite companies just to watch your favorite broadcast network shows? Why spend hundreds of dollars a year for cable and satellite only channels when you can watch broadcast television for free with the Clear TV HD digital antenna? All you have to do is plug in Clear TV and let your television instantly receive top-rated network shows, local news and weather, sporting events, and more, all for free. That's right, free digital TV. Thanks to a federal government mandate, all broadcasters are required to transmit a digital TV signal through the airwaves. Clear TV lets you bypass cable and satellite to bring network shows directly to your television so you can enjoy crystal clear local and national free HD TV. Clear TV is amazing. If we're just off the coast here in the Gulf of Mexico receiving free network broadcast HD TV, imagine all the free HD TV shows you'll receive at home. Basic cable and satellite services can cost you up to $80 a month. That's $960 a year and almost $10,000 over a 10-year period. Why pay that much money for extra channels you may never even watch? But with Clear TV, there's no contracts, no monthly fees, and no unexpected rate increases. Just free HD TV that can look as good or better than cable and satellite. Call or go online now to get your Clear TV HD digital antenna for just $19.95.
I took the antenna out of the box, plugged it into my TV, and in just a few minutes I was watching free network broadcast HD TV.
Clear TV's compact design is perfect for an apartment, ideal for a college dorm room, and lets you watch TV in as many rooms as you like without paying additional monthly fees. Order right now and we'll give you a second Clear TV antenna for free. Just pay separate processing and handling. That's 2 Clear TV HD digital antennas of $40 value, all for only $19.95. Not available in stores. Order now.
I can't believe I get all these channels for free. And in HD, Clear TV is for real.
EquineLine.com gives you access to real-time pedigree, racing, and sales data from around the world when you need it most. EquineLine.com.
TVG account holders are just one click away from earning valuable TVG Wager Rewards points. Earn wagering credits or SkyMall gift certificates. Go to tvg.com/rewards and simply click Join Now.
Buzz in the biz. All your racing information, PollockReport.com. The one, only purveyor of the Pollock Report, Don Juan himself. Ray Pollock joins us. You have a nice Valentine's Day, Ray?
I did. It was a busy one, but we're down in Florida, and Carol and I had a lovely dinner last night.
Okay, very, very, very nice. Good to hear. Enough about romance. Let's get on. Well, I mean, I don't know. Our first story is a little romantic. I think you sent me this photo a few days ago because we're sort of, we're crazed, we're sort of borderline obsessed with the cuddly, lovable creature that is the manatee. And well, you sent me this photo and producer Donnell a few days ago. I think we have it right now. The manatee.
You know, I'm always thinking about you, Matt. And we were doing a little walk on the island.
Is that your house?
No,
That's not your place, is it?
But it's a very popular. I can get you one of these. It's made out of concrete, so it might be a little heavy to ship. But no, you see manatee mailboxes all around here. It's kind of funny. I thought in honor of last week's manatee steaks, in which I guess we both picked losers, I'd send you that.
I like that. Do the neighborhood dogs attack that thing though? That could be.
My dog, it's his favorite unwatering hole. He likes to just kind of perch above it. So.
Okay, we're going to go from a lighthearted study to a real heavy story just like that. Rachel Alexandra, second foal on Tuesday, Father Bernardini, filly that weighed quite a bit, 140 pounds. I guess took 3 men to help with the delivery process because of the weight. And late Wednesday, she had some complications, taken to Root and Riddle Equine Hospital, had surgery to repair a bruised area, a small colon, that she injured during birth. And the last that I've heard, Ray, is she's still in serious condition. Is there an update on Rachel Alexandra?
Yeah, the Root and Riddle is going to post an update here shortly. They just sent out a picture of Barbara Banke, the owner of Stone Street Stables, with her and feeding her a peppermint in her stall. And yeah, I mean, there's really no such thing as a routine delivery, and certainly nothing minor about surgery. This was a serious surgery she had, and it's the doctors at Root and Riddle were not ready to make any kind of prognosis other than to say, keep her in your thoughts and prayers, and it's a day-to-day situation. It's very serious, and we send everybody connected with the filly our best, and hope each day gets a little bit better for her. And as far as the future is concerned, as far as will she be bred again this year or in any other year? I think this year I heard one of the spokespeople for the clinic telling your guys yesterday that this year is probably out of the question. But the main thing is she's in good hands.
Yeah.
Root and Riddle is just as good a place as there is to send a horse that has this kind of a problem, and she has owners that are looking out for her best interest health-wise.
Yeah, and I don't know much about this. My girlfriend actually is in the breeding industry, and she was telling me that hopefully, obviously, Rachel will make it out of this, but she's probably not going to be with the filly anymore, right? Because the filly has to be nurtured now, so they're probably not going to get back together, which is a little bit sad too.
Well, it is sad, but it's actually the nurse mare business is a pretty big business in a place like Kentucky, and it's not that unusual. There's different reasons sometimes that foals have to go on to nurse mares, and this is one of those cases when there are complications. So it's not that unusual. They have good nurse mares that are used to doing this. We understand that the foal and the nurse mare have bonded beautifully.
Oh, good.
And that's very good news. Yes.
Okay. Some more kind of. I mean, not the Rachel news is bad. Hasn't changed over the last day. This is some other news that we're going to talk about what's going on at Woodbine. I don't really know what's going on at Woodbine. I know that I think it was over Christmas, Ray. They laid off some of their employees, and apparently, on just a couple of days ago, again they laid off 74 more. So it's up to a total of 109. We knew they were going to have some problems at Woodbine with the whole the problem with they have a casino and where they're going to get the revenue from. What's happening there? It's not good.
Well, the provincial government took away the slots revenue. Simple as that. And they came up with a 2-year agreement. They haven't really discussed what the particulars of that agreement are. But obviously, the Woodbine Entertainment Group had to do some budget cutting, and they're whacking out 1/4 of their full-time salaried workforce. And it's tragic. They do a fantastic job there. You guys are good friends with a lot of them, and it's a sad thing to see happen. They've got to figure out a way to get revenue back into the game because they were using the slots revenue for purses, for administration, and they were using it to help grow the business, to help grow the sport. And they've got to find a way to produce that revenue that's going to be missing after the next couple of years.
Are their dates going to be the same coming up? Are they cutting dates at this point, or is that still to be determined here?
Well, I think long term we're going to have to see dates reductions up there, as we are in a lot of places. the number of foals are, is on decline, and we're still not feeling the full impact of that as the full crops of 2011 and 2012 were smaller than the previous years.
I talked earlier at the top of the show about Black Caviar with Ashley Walker, who's our biggest global star that we have. As biggest stars we have in the States is Royal Delta, and she's going to run in the Sabin at Gulfstream on Sunday, a race in which she was defeated in last year soundly by Awesome Maria. And, everything goes well on Sunday at Gulfstream. We're going to see her in Dubai again, right?
Yeah, that's right. I did an interview with Bessie Lou Stables owner, Ben Leon, the other day, and this is an interesting guy. He paid $8.5 million to buy her at the Keeneland November sale in 2011, and he immediately made everybody happy when he said he was going to keep her in training in 2012, and we thought, well, that's great. We'll get to see her as a 4-year-old. And then after she won her second Ladies Classic in a row, he said, we're going to do this again. We're going to keep her in training in 2013. He loves a challenge. He has a very global vision for his operation. He wants to race in Dubai. He wants to race in Europe. He wants to race in Japan. Not with her necessarily, but he's a guy that doesn't think small. And we'd love to see people like that get in the business. I think it's all good news as far as Royal Delta is concerned.
All right, we're 3 minutes away from the first at Aqueduct. Scratched the one in this race. And yeah, she had a terrible trip, too, in the World Cup last year. Really an awful trip, bounced around numerous times during that race. Grace Hall was earned $1.4 million, scheduled to go in the Sabin Sunday. It's only a field of 5. Last year, tiny field, but there was Awesome Marie and Royal Delta. They're about the same price, and they actually offered show wagering last year, and I found out they're going to offer it again. Unless the race crashes down to 4, right? As of right now, with 5 horses, they're going to have show wagering in this race, which is pretty gutty of Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, well, I think, as Mr. Leon said the other day, he thinks that she's a stronger filly this year than she was last year, and if that's the case, I think she's going to come back with a big effort here. I was not that surprised last year when she didn't win, but I'll be really surprised if she doesn't win Sunday.
Yeah, I think everybody would, and she's probably going to be 1-9. Turn our attention to the first race in New York. They're racing at Aqueduct. Wow. It's incredible. They've been racing Sunday in New York. 5 days off. And in the first race, I mentioned rider change on the 3, put Shami Camacho on the 3 and scratch the 1. Small Town. Right now, your fave, Ray Pollock, in this race is the 8-horse Alston Gunter. 9 wins, 8 seconds from 30 starts in his career. Missed by a neck most recently and finished well in front of the 4, Al's Lark, who's basically the same price as he right now. Oh, as I say that, you don't see this in New York very often. See that, Ray? The 8 just clicked from 2-1 to 6-5 inside of 2 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of like Al's Lark here. I like the move by Jacobson, claiming for 12.5, going up, trying the 16,000 company, going back to the claiming level, whereas the 8-horse is dropped down considerably from what I think he was claimed for 25,000 a little ways back. I would look for Al's Lark to pull the upset here.
Now, you know me, I'm a loyal guy, and Tasered was my blinkers off play of the day when he went gate to wire at 9-2 on the 26th of January. So I'm going to come back to Tasered, who's red hot. He was a lone F in that race on paper. And unfortunately, that's the way it translated during the race. But this horse is just really good right now. He likes the inner dirt. He's a 5-time winner. And I thought there'd be a little bit of value. He's getting played a bit. 5-1 has turned into 4-1. But I'll stick with the 7-horse Tasered to win the opener at Aqueduct. Are you going to be able to stay up tonight for Black Caviar? It's pretty late, 12:30 Eastern time. Are you going to make it?
I am, and the really good news is we're staying in an apartment down here in Florida on Singer Island, and they have TVG.
Oh.
So not only am I going to stay up, I'm going to stay up and watch it on TVG.
You lucky guy. Apparently we have a late scratch here in New York, and I've just been told
is that the 6?
That it is the 6. Yeah. Okay. A late scratch. The Savage, Nepal Chatterpauls runner, owner and trainer, David Cohn. So horse that you still see the odds. It was 17-1. Now you see the SCR. So a pretty big long shot who was in horrific form late scratch, and he appears to be okay. He'll just have to make his second start of 2013 at a later date. They don't dilly-dally in New York, and they have 10 races today, too, which is nice. So the pick fours, 2 through 5, 7 through 10 at Aqueduct. And Ray going to stick with Al's Lark for David Jacobson. One of many in this field that have real good resumes in terms of their winning percentage. 11 for 42 for Al. I'm getting, you get a late scratch and my price goes up. Taser goes from 4-1 to 9-2, and that click we had in terms of odds on Alston Gunter from 2-1 to 6-5 has remained here over the last couple of minutes. Give me your heavy favorite, Ruben Silvera, for Rudy Rodriguez at 6-5 on the board. And your fave will be the last to load. We'll turn it over to John Embriel, the first of 10 on a Friday, fast main track at Aqueduct. Good luck on the opener.
And they're off. Little Lowe's Expression and Al's Lark. And down at the rail, it's Estimator. Right. In between horses, WW's Ladies Man. Tasered is 5 wide. Alston Gunter is 6 wide. Then it's a break of 8 lengths back to Gimme Another Wink, who trails the field in 7th. At the rail, Estimator leads by a head. Tasered the gray on the outside. WW's Ladies Man in between those two. And Alston Gunter is just behind the front runners in 4th through an opening quarter mile in 22 3/5 seconds. Al's Lark is now back running in 5th. Little Lowe's Expression back to 6th. Huge break. Back to Gimme Another Wink, who trails the field. As they come for the top of the stretch, it's Estimator, big long shot in front as they turn for home, the half mile in 45 2. Al's Lark moves into second. Alston Gunter's on the outside. And now they're coming for the 8th pole. Here's Al's Lark now to take a narrow lead with Alston Gunter right there on the outside. Al's Lark and Alston Gunter, and the two of them are right together. Less than a 16th of the wire. Alston Gunter, Al's Lark, their heads apart, and it's Alston Gunter by a head. Al's Lark in that photo for the win. Farther back, WW's Ladies Man and Little Lowe's Expression.
8-4-3, good horse race involving your two favorites with the horses that like to win. You had Alston Gunter at 9 for 30 to the outside, to the inside. Al's Lark, tenacious, 11 for 42, but it looks like the favorite, Ray, gets you by a head.
Alston tough Gunter. Beat. Al's Lark fought back, too.
He did. I love those veteran claimers when they throw it down in the lane. First at Tampa, and then we'll get to some weekend handicapping. 5 minutes away from the opener. They are muddy and off today. That doesn't really look like a muddy racetrack, but that's what it's designated as. The 3, I'm going to go with Misidentified in this spot, coming out of a key race, 3rd start of a 7-month left in the scalding warm Chad Stewart barn. Alphabet Time hasn't raced in over a year, was second in that start at this maiden 8 level. Did you look at this race at all, Ray? Or?
I did, and I really there's a lot of professional maidens in this field. It looks like, and
yes,
some low percentage trainers. I had a hard time getting around the Jamie Ness. The Kids Are Cute 2-horse chalk play here. This seems to have a lot in her favor.
Yeah, she showed pace. She got a little fatigued as the favorite in her debut, and you see italicized lettering with two of the horses that you see in the running lines for the Kids Are Cute. They came back to win, so Ness will have the favorite in the opener. We'll get out to Tampa for race number 1 in a moment. Let's do some handicapping while we have a moment. Field of 6, Grade 2 Santa Maria at Santa Anita. It's going to be a hot one, actually. It's going to be warm out here the next couple of days, Ray. I think it's going to be in the 80s at Santa Anita both today and tomorrow. Book review, second in the La Cañada to More Chocolate, who I believe tried the dirt for the first time in that race and was able to win for John Sadler. I'm against the 2. What are your thoughts? To me, better closing in sprints than she is going 2 turns.
Yeah, I tell you, this is a race that doesn't have a lot of pace, which is really unusual for California. There's nobody that really looks to me like they need to have the lead. And speaking of hot, I think that Great Hot on the rail does have some natural speed. Showed it sprinting a couple races back. And I think that she could pull the upset here with
Gary Stevens,
with the comeback kid. Yeah, Gary Stevens.
Wow. Okay. All right. For our guy AC Avila, It's one of those patented AC Avila 7/8 drills going into this race.
Yeah.
I was on the air for Snowfall's win in the Passiana, and Distracting was your favorite for Baffert at 8-5, and she just put her away. And I love the way she finished, going the right direction. You talked about the lack of pace. I think she might be on the lead here with Tyler Bates. Not an exciting price, but I like Snowfall. Second choice, 9-5. Move on to the Sweet Life, 6.5 furlongs down the hill. My daughter will be excited about this, as the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, one of her favorite Disney shows from a few years ago, those lovable twins. And this is a $75,000 event. Let's begin with the 8, Jubilant Girl, who's 2 for 2 in both those wins down the hill. Talented and a specialist at 6.5 down the hill.
Yeah, I don't think there's a race course in America that is more of a horses for courses kind of a play than the downhill turf course at Santa Anita. And when you're 2 for 2 on it, I'm going to wait for you to lose before I bet against you. So I'm going to take Jubilant Girl and step up in class. But she obviously likes the turf course. Some horses don't like it, and it really is amazing how some just take to it.
Yeah,
and I'm going to stick with her until she loses. So.
And this was a big win because, Pussycat Lips was even money for Sadler in that race. She was crushed. She finished third. Bird Lover had a perfect trip, and she blew right by her. Again, I talked about my loyalty about 10 minutes ago. I'm going to come back with Escape Act, who I also picked on this program in her last start, and she was eased, beaten 55.25 lengths. I think they're going to come off the pace here like they did on the grass 2 starts back at a mile. Drawn towards the outside with Nakatani. I'll play her back for Gary Studi at 6-1 morning line. Our spotlight for Saturday is the El Camino Real, grade 3, 9 furlongs at Golden Gate Field of 9. And yeah, I'm not worried about the ROI staying in the negative column. I'm going to be in the black after this weekend because Counting Days at 30-1 is going to go wire to wire, Ray Pollock. The morning line is off here. I'm going to get a price here. But Carla Gaines shipping from Southern California and getting Dennis Carr, who's riding as well as Beige right now, and a horse who's only started on synthetic, did this at Keeneland, winning by 10.25 lengths on the 20th of October. I thought it was a wide open race. The morning line was silly bad, and Counting Days, I think, might get the lead in this race with Dennis Carr. I think it might be as low as 10 or 12-1 off that ridiculous 30-1 morning line.
Well, I was not a big fan of Ziwad going into the last start, and the start of that race was a disaster. But and he really kind of got the worst of it, I think, and still won fairly easy. He gets a better trip this time, and really kind of enters maybe the Derby picture, giving Hollendorfer a look at it.
Yeah, he really hesitated at the start, tried to avoid Wildcat Moon, who broke in sharply in that particular race. Do we have time to go to Tampa Bay? Grade 3, we still have a minute or so before the first at Tampa, and they definitely dilly-dally there. Another delicious. I don't know what the condition of this turf course is going to be, Ray. It's not going to be firm, I wouldn't think. It's got a lot of rain down there.
It's good, yeah. Well, I can say on the other coast of Florida, it poured yesterday. I mean, it just rained and rained and rained all day. So I'm assuming the same thing. It's going to have a little give to it. I don't think they're expecting more rain today or tomorrow.
All right, the top 4 from this race a year ago are in this race. The horse who won in 2011 is your morning line favorite, and here doubles partner. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to take the Big Blue Kitten. It's a horse that loves to win races. Had 2 comeback races after taking the trip to Ascot last year. Seems to be back in pretty good form. Had no visible excuse last time. Ran well. I think is getting better for Chad Brown and Ken and Sarah Ramsey.
I care a lot about who rides my horses when my selection has no rider as of right now. Yeah, okay. Cash rules. It says also eligible, but I don't have that. I only have the 12 as an also, so I'm hoping this horse runs. If it's off the turf, it doesn't matter. This horse won 3 in a row, Ray. Then runs third to Casaba, who earned a 106 buyer, and then loses to Ron the Greek, who's in a run in the Big Cap, who earned a 115 buyer. So you lose 3 in a row, then you run into a horse who earns a 106, and then your next start you run into a horse who earns a 115, and his only start on turf at 20-1, he ran a really good third on the grass at Gulfstream. So I like cash rules. Hopefully he will get into this race. And the other horse that I would look at would be Tiz Sardonic Joe, the 5, with Ryan Curatolo for Eddie Keneally. Really good second in his last start at Gulfstream on the 12th of January.
It's a tough race. It's a really good field too. Yeah.
It's Tampa, so we're accustomed to these difficult races. Are you going to stay with me for this first at Tampa?
Sure.
Or am I going to say goodbye to you right now? I want you. Okay, Danielle wants you here, and if she wants you here, then I want you here all the time. If you can stay through noon, that would be perfect. It's post time for the first at Tampa Bay Downs, and I'm going to stick with Misidentified, the 3. Ray going with the favorite. The Kids Are Cute, the Indian Ocean second-time starter for Jamie Ness. I like that price I'm getting on the 3. I mean, she was 4-1 at this level in her last start. She showed some pace. She got a little tired, first and third in that race. Next out winners, third start of a 7-month layoff, and Chad Stewart, whose barn is as hot as any barn at Tampa right now. So you don't get Chad Stewart too often at 7-1 these days. And your second choice is a mare who hasn't raced since February 3rd of 2012. We'll see if the Kids Are Cute goes to the front. There's speed to the inside from City Attack, so that could be a little bit of a concern for Fernando de la Cruz, who's aboard your heavy favorite. And Ray alluded to the horses towards the outside. You have career maidens as 0 for 19 with the 6, 0 for 17 with the 7, 0 for 25 with the 8. And they're right now. I think they're going over their lifetime records in their head as we have a little bit of a delay here.
I think it's all on the inside here, isn't it?
Yeah, it appears that way. All right, just about set. The 4, your second choice is in Alphabet Time. Muddy racetrack at Tampa. They are off the grass, and let's send it over to Richard Grunder for the call. The first at Tampa. Maiden claimers at the $8,000 level. Fillies and mares 4 and up, going 5 and a hook.
And they're off. Away and running in good order. City Attack is toward the rail, breaking for the lead. There goes Misidentified. Moving up, and the Kids Are Cute is away alertly. The last horse away, Avanda's Destiny. To the far turn they go. City Attack toward the rail as the lead, the favorite. The Kids Are Cute on the outside second. 2.5 lengths farther back. Misidentified is now third, then it's a gap of 2. That's Devil's Wild Child now racing along fourth. Pegasus Pearl on the outside fifth. Then it's 2 lengths farther back. Alphabet Time sixth. A gap of 2. Avanda's Destiny now seventh. And far back, AB's Alley Bell. With 1/4 mile to run. City Attack has the lead. The Kids Are Cute. On the outside continues to badger the leader. Second, Alphabet Time now putting in a run toward the rail. Third as they're into the stretch. City Attack moves clear. The Kids Are Cute is set down for the drive on the outside. Still has 3 lengths to make up. In deep stretch, it's City Attack. Shortening stride, but still in front. The Kids Are Cute will be lunging late, but City Attack will take the opener at Tampa. The Kids Are Cute finished second, a long ways back. Misidentified was third.
The opener was a merry-go-round. I thought turning for home, City Attack might win by open lengths. Got a little winded late. The Kids Are Cute came after her, but Jamie Ness, as good as he is, he's been losing some races at real short prices over the last few days. City Attack, gate-to-wire winner in the first at Tampa. Ray Pollock, we are done. You are excused from Blinkers Off, but you'll be back next week to talk about the big Derby prep races we have next weekend, right?
It's getting exciting, isn't it? We start to get into the higher point races here now. It's these are I think this weekend is the last of the 10-pointers, right? And then we move up into the higher points. So I think you and I are maybe the only 2 people on the planet who like this the new point system, right?
Yeah, I do. As I've said before, it would be impossible to have a perfect system for this. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I think it's much better than what we had before. So, yeah, I am a proponent of it. I do like it. Ray, enjoy yourself down in sunny Florida.
Thank you.
Thanks again for coming on, and we'll see you next time. Ray Pollock from the Pollock Report, the best place to go to get all your latest racing news. And that next time, 15 plus 7, yep, that would be February 22nd, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Don't go anywhere, though. Coming up next, Pick 6 Central.